Ami Horowitz does is simply important. You can watch us both, by the way, at the Salem News Channel. The show is now videoed, and he is in studio. He's taken on a fascinating topic. Who's more tolerant, Israelis or Palestinians? Specifically on the gay issue, because the LGBT community has officially endorsed the Palestinian position against Israel, which is remarkable given how wonderful it is for LGBT people in Israel and how awful it is for the LGBT community in nearly all of the Arab world, including the Palestinian. So he went to gay district in San Francisco, asked them about their views, and then he went to the Palestinians and asked them their views. It's phenomenally effective. It is up at prageru.com. Again, who's more tolerant, Israelis or Palestinians? And it's you could click on it at the DennisPrager.com. That might be the easiest way for you. Ami is here, coming back, obviously, from the Middle East and from San Francisco. Ami, this was an excellent idea, and I'm going to do something I almost never do. I want to go to the end first. You showed the video of Palestinians you interviewed to the gays you had met in San Francisco. First, tell us, who were the Palestinians you interviewed?
So, when I went to so first of all, I decided that I wanted to do this video not in Gaza, because people could just say to me, well, they're Islamic fundamentalists, they're just crazy. I did it in what everyone considers to be the moderate part of the Palestinian territories, the Palestinian Authority, and the West Bank. And I wanted to make sure to shoot it there. I spoke with random people on the street. I spoke with one of the most popular imams in Ramallah. I spoke with, and this took me a long time to be able to get somebody to trust me, I spoke with a gay person in the West Bank who walked me through what a life is like, the painful life is like for somebody who's gay in Palestine, in the Palestinian territories. And that's who we spoke to in the Palestinian territories.
So you spoke to how many clergy? Although they don't have officially clergy,
Imam,
but how many?
Imam.
Yeah, how many?
We spoke to one particularly popular imam.
Can you tell us his name? Oh, you don't remember?
No, I don't
That's fine.
remember.
It's obviously in the documentary.
Yeah.
So you got to meet him, and what did he say?
So I asked him straight away. I said, look, in most clergy, when you have people who come to you, they oftentimes will take you privately and say, look, I have a particular problem. Can you give me some advice? He says, yeah, of course. I have that all the time. I said, well, has anybody ever come to you and said, look, I have a son or daughter who is gay. What should I do? He looks at me, he goes, yes. And what did you advise? To kill them. Just matter-of-factly, as if he was brushing his teeth. He went on to talk about, I asked him, what would be worse, to have a gay son or a thief? A gay son or a drug addict? A gay son or a murderer? In all cases, he said, no, I'd rather have all those things other than a gay son or a
murderer. Should ask him, gay son or Jew?
Oh, see, this is why I need you with me. And I have offered to
you
come.
have, that's right.
But you're too scared.
Yes, right. That's exact. In this case, you're exactly right. I do stick out. Oh my God. And of course you're keeping a straight face this entire time and thinking, wow, I think I should show this to the gays who are anti-Israel in America.
Yeah, so the video opens with me, like you said, in the Castro district of San Francisco. It's kind of redundant to say a gay area in San Francisco, but a particularly gay area in San Francisco, very famously gay area in the city. And when I first approached people who were gay, and I said, hey, who do you support? Just kind of out of the blue, the Palestinians or the Israelis, every single person vocally, verbally, aggressively said they support the Palestinians over the Israelis. And then we cut away to the video. The audience watched the video itself, of me in the Palestinian territories. And then we cut back to the people who you saw earlier in the video, watching it in real time, watching the video. And you see their it's like a reaction video. You see their visceral reactions to what they're seeing. You see their facial expressions, their grunts, their comments to themselves. And you see the things are turning in their heads. And at the end I said, well, so what do you think now? And virtually every single person, I've changed my mind. And the one person they didn't, after a few seconds of discussing, he also changed his mind. The most interesting part of this is, I think people always ask this the question, why would the gay community support the Palestinians when the Palestinians hold antithetical views to everything they live? They're antithetical to their being. How can they support the Palestinians over the Israelis when they have gay pride parades? And the answer, it always comes back to the same thing. It's the idea of intersectionality, the idea that they're victims, we perceive ourselves to be victims, therefore we're connected over the bullies of the world. In the case of the gays, American society. In the case of the Palestinians, the Israelis. They connect on their shared victimhood. And that is such a powerful emotion. I've always said victimhood is the most corrosive human emotion that exists. And it's also extremely powerful. And it is connected with them despite the fact that they have so much in common with the Israelis and so little in common with the Palestinians. And the problem that the pro-Israel community has had in order to try to bring them back or bring them to support of Israel is that they've approached it the wrong way. The approach has been, let's show them how good Israeli society is to gay people, to which gay people say, you're a Western democracy. You don't get a cookie for being good to gay people. In fact, gay people have weaponized Israel's trying to bring them into the fold by saying, look how good it is, by creating this most insidiously brilliant term called pinkwashing. They say you are washing your sins of the Palestinians with our gayness. They've actually weaponized Israel's trying to embrace them. And the approach I took is different. It was, look, these are the people you're supporting. You are supporting people who are throwing you off of roofs, raping you, arresting you, raping you, murdering you. How can you support them? And when they see it, in really see it, people saying, I want to kill gay people, this is what their people are telling me, it changed their mind.
I will be so interested. It's come out today, my dear listeners, and you can connect to it through DennisPrager.com or go straight to PragerU. It is a PragerU video that we have commissioned, or PragerU has commissioned Ami to do. I am dying to see the reactions, the official reactions by the LGBT activists who are known for, in my view, I've said it often, even on the left, they're known for their cruelty. They're about as mean-spirited as any left-wing activists, the LGBT. They are so consumed with their victim status that normal moral rules do not apply to them. And obviously here too, people who will say we should murder gays get our support because they're anti-West, we're anti-West. They're anti-Israel, we're anti-Israel. But the rank and file is whom you showed it to. You didn't show it to officials, right?
Correct. Which is, by the way, similar to the black community. Their quote-unquote representatives, their activists, don't reflect in any way, shape, or form the larger black community. And that, as you know, a lot of my videos are exactly that, going to black community and seeing what their true reactions are to things. Same with this. Now, in this case, they did believe the same thing the activists held. Those beliefs were held by them. But it only took a few minutes of watching a video for them to understand the reality of what's going on.
Well,
and I plan to go on I will go and sit down with anybody, anytime, to talk about work that I do. I'll go on with Hezbollah Television. They want to have me on. So obviously I'm pushing, and I will try to get on the major podcasts and radio shows to discuss it with them. Not to fight, but although I'm happy if they push back. But this is, it's so...
Well, I will be curious if any of the gay podcasters reach out to you.
I hope so.
I hope so too.